Most of the grief conversations out there will tell you what you lost: her presence, her voice, the life you built. And all of that is real. And all of it deserves to be honored. But there is something specific that most grief conversations never touch: the particular quality of her attention. The fact that she heard you in a way that nobody else does and may not for a long time. That is his own loss. And it lives in the ordinary moments. The conversation where someone means well and listens carefully and still somehow misses the whole thing. The moment you realize you're going to have to explain yourself, and with her, you never had to. Being truly heard by someone who loves you is one of the most specific things a long marriage builds. And most men who lost their wives are grieving it without knowing that's the shape of what they're missing. Here's what I want to walk you through today. Not how to find that again in someone new. That's not where we are in this conversation. I want to talk about how to rebuild the capacity for it from the inside out. Because here is what I have watched happen. A man who has spent months in the rewrite season, months of being surrounded by people who mean well and still don't quite land, starts to close down. He starts to assume that being heard at that level is something that only existed with her, that it was specific to her, irreplaceable, gone. And so he stops reaching for it. He stops expecting it. He starts to make his peace with a version of himself that doesn't need that kind of hearing anymore. That is not healing. That is accommodation. And there is a difference. Healing is rebuilding the capacity, starting with yourself. The man who cannot hear himself, who has trained himself to dismiss his own inner life as weakness, to manage his emotions rather than actually feel them, to answer, "I'm fine," before anyone asks. That man cannot receive being heard even when it is truly offered, because he no longer believes his inner life is worth that kind of attention. So the work starts here. Learning to hear yourself the way she heard you, not to fix what you find, not to analyze it or plan around it, just to hear it, to sit with what is actually true for you right now. The grief, the uncertainty, the things you miss, the things you're starting to want again, and let it be said, even if only internally, even if the only witness is you. That practice builds something. It rebuilds the muscle. It rebuilds the expectation that your inner life deserves space. And a man who has rebuilt that expectation is a man who eventually, when someone offers him real attention, knows how to receive it. She built that room with you over years. You get to learn how to build it for yourself, not as a replacement for what you had, as the foundation for whatever comes next. If any of what I just said feels like it's naming something you've been carrying alone, I put together a short free guide, 3 truths for the man rebuilding his life after loss. It costs nothing. Links right below this video. This is exactly the ground I cover in my book, Rewrite the Story. Links below if you want to keep going with this. I'm Ron Simplified Myers, your uplifting life partner. Come walk with me at simplifieduplifters.com. And most important, remember, you are extraordinary.